Hi, I'm Rob. Welcome to my channel. Reading from King James Version, New and Old Testament. Leviticus 4, the sin offering. Now the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, If a person sins unintentionally against any of the commandments of the Lord in anything which ought not to be done, and does any of them, if the anointed priest sins, bring guilt on the people, then let him offer the Lord for his sins, which he has sinned, a young bull without blemish as a sin offering. He shall bring the bull to the door of the tabernacle of the meeting before the Lord, lay his hands on the bull's head, and kill the bull before the Lord. Then an anointed priest shall take some of the bull's blood and bring it to the tabernacle of the meeting. The priest shall dip his fingers in the blood and sprinkle some of the blood 7 times before the Lord, in front of the veil of the sanctuary. And the priest shall put some of the blood on the horns of the altar of the sweet incense before the Lord, which is in the tabernacle of the meeting. And he shall pour the remaining blood of the bull at the base of the altar of the burnt offerings, which is at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. He shall take from it all the fat of the bull as a sin offering. The fat will cover the entrails and all the fat which is on the entrails, the 2 kidneys and the fat that is on them by the flanks, and the fatty lobe attached to the liver above the kidneys he shall remove. That it was taken from the bull of the sacrifice of the peace offering, and the priest shall burn them on the altar of the burnt offerings. But the bull hide and all its flesh, with his head and legs, its entrails and the offal, the whole bull shall carry outside the camp to a clean place where the ashes are poured out, and burn it on wood with fire. Where the ashes are poured out, it shall be burned. Now if the whole congregation of Israel sins unintentionally, and a thing is hidden from the eyes of the assembly, and they have done some things against any of the commandments of the Lord, and anything which should not be done, and are guilty. When the sin which they have committed became known, then the assembly shall offer a young bull for the sin, and to bring it before the tabernacle of the meeting. And the elders of the congregation shall lay their hands on the head of the bull before the Lord. Then the bull shall be killed before the Lord. The anointed priest shall bring some of the bull's blood to the tabernacle of meeting. The priest shall dip his fingers in the blood and sprinkle it 7 times before the Lord in front of the veil, and shall put some of the blood on the horns of the altar which is before the Lord, which is in the tabernacle of meeting. And he shall pour the remaining blood at the base of the altar of the burnt offerings, which is at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. He shall take all the fat from it and burn it on the altar. And he shall do with the bull as he did with the bull of the sin offerings. Thus he shall do with it, so the priest shall make it atonement for them, and it shall be forgiven them. Then he shall carry the bull outside the camp and burn it, and as he had burned the first bull, it is a sin offering for the assembly. When a ruler has sinned and done something unintentionally against any of the commandments of the Lord his God, is anything which sounds not to be done, it should not be done, and is guilty. For of his sin which he has committed comes to his knowledge, he shall bring as his offering as a kid of the goats, a male without blemish. And he shall lay his hands on the head of the goat and kill it at the place where the kill of the burnt offering before the Lord. It is a sin offering. The priest shall take some of the blood of the sin offering with his fingers and put it on the horns the altar burnt offerings, and pour its blood on the base of the altar of the burnt offering. And he shall burn it all its fats on the altar, like the fat of the sacrifice of the peace offering. So the priest shall make an atonement for him concerning his sins, and it shall be forgiven him. If anyone of the common people sins unintentionally by doing something against any of the commandments of the Lord in anything which ought not to be done, and is guilty, or if his sin which he has committed comes offering a kid of the goats, a female without blemish, for his sin which he has committed, and he shall lay his hands on the head of the sin offering and kill the sin offering at the place of the burnt offering. Then the priest shall take some of its blood with his fingers, put it on the horns of the altar of the burnt offering, and pour all the remaining blood base of the altar. He shall remove all its fats, and as his fat is removed from the sacrifice of the peace offering, and the priest shall burn it on the altar for a sweet aroma to the Lord. So the priest shall make an atonement for him, and it shall be forgiven him. If he brings a lamb and as his sin offering, he shall bring a female without blemish. And he shall lay his hands on the head of the sin offering and kill it as a sin offering at the place where they kill and the burnt offering. The priest shall take some of the blood of the sin offering with his fingers and put it on the horns of the altar burnt offerings, and pour all the remaining blood at the base of the altar. He shall remove all its fats, and the fat of the lamb. He removes from the sacrifice of the peace offering, and the peace shall burn it on the altar, according to the offerings made by fire to the Lord. So the priest shall make an atonement for his sins, and he has committed, and it shall be forgiven him. Thank you. God bless.